Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Puan Halimatul. I did not expect that I have moderator today. Okay, so thank you very much everybody for coming here, for attending this webinar. All right. So let me just share my screen first. Okay. I don't know why my... Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for attending this webinar. So today I'm going to just have a sharing session on the title Efficient Online Instruction, Maximum Impact in Minimal Time. So today's session will be my sharing session on how actually we are going to conduct our online instruction for next semesters, because we know that inshallah for next semester we are going to still have our online class. Okay, class will be held online most probably. So I think that it is very important for us to prepare ourselves to be an online instructor, although we have actually we had actually did our course, okay, did our teaching and learning for last semesters, and the semester before we had done online teaching and learning. However, it is important to highlight that we might not actually doing the most efficient online instruction. Okay, we might have been following our usual face-to-face class, and we just transfer it into online class. Okay, so today I would like to share with you all about how to actually embark on open distance learning, ODL, okay, and how ODL principles can assist you as instructors in preparing next semester's online teaching and learning. All right. So because if the online distance learning or ODL have different principles, yeah, they have different principles whereby I can see that most of the lecturers, especially in USM, we have actually when we do our online teaching and learning, we are looking at similar timetables for our classes. Okay, we follow the timetables. So if let's say this week we have class 9 to 12 p.m., then next week we are going to conduct synchronous class, and then the week after next week still we are having synchronous class. Okay, so each of the weeks we might have synchronous classes that sometimes, you know, will burden us as lecturers, because we are feeling very exhausted, because we are talking by ourselves. Okay, we are looking at the computer, and then our students are joining the WebEx or Zoom session, and they were not talking, they were listening, and then sometimes they go out, they come in and then they go out during our lecture, and then yeah, we are feeling lonely in doing our class, online class. All right, so this session will also guide you everybody on how to prepare themselves as online instructors, as well as preparing your students. Okay. To be an online instructor, we need also to prepare our students, because our students, we have actually introduced them to traditional conventional teaching and learning. So when they do the conventional teaching and learning to change into an online students, they need to be self-directed learners. Okay, so they need to have this self-directed learning to be able to learn learn in the online environment. Okay, so fine learning, okay, that we all need to know, okay, need to, whether you like it or not, whether you prefer to teach face to face. Okay, some of us already told me, so some of my colleagues mentioned to me that, you know, I can't wait to have face-to-face classes. I miss my students, okay, and I am also, you know, missing my students as well, because, you know, although I am an online instructor, still I would like to see my students in face-to-face classes. Okay, sometimes go here and there with them, okay, and interact with them face-to-face. Yes, but however, the fact is, it is here to stay. The online learning is here to stay, whether you like it or not, because let's say we finish our pandemic will be over, for example, then we might not have total 100% online learning. Okay, so Dr. Fadli said that online learning is like long distance relationship. Okay, so yeah, it is bearable. That's good. All right. So fact of online learning number third. We are next semester will be our third semester. No, fourth semester. Using online learning. So, however, some of us are still struggling. Okay. So if you are struggling, everybody is struggling. Okay, including your student, and our student will change. Okay, every semester we might have different students, so they are struggling too, especially the new students. All right, although if let's say we have students semester 1 next semester, they are in semester 1, they will be struggling as well, because they might not have a comprehensive online learning in their matriculation as well as during their STPM. So they will be struggling too. Okay, so today's webinar, I'm going to cover both, yeah, lecturers as well as students. Okay, so I would like to you all to use your handphones and go to menti.com. All right. Okay, and then use the code 41270179, or you can just scan the QR code there. All right, and then tell us, how do you feel now after teaching online since April 2020? Okay, let me just go to Menti. All right, so here. Okay, so go to menti.com.
Boleh tolong share balik tak dia punya QR code? Tak sempat nak
Boleh.
scan tadi.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay, semua dah dapat. Everybody has be able to scan the QR code. Then I'll share the website. Okay, I can see people coming. Alright, so how do you feel now after teaching online since April 2020? Yeah? It is 3 semesters. All right, it was 3 semesters and going to be 4 semesters. Okay, we have people who say 5 people now saying that can we have face-to-face back? All right. 11 said okay. All right. 8 at the moment saying they are exhausted. 6 are happy. All right. 1 feel lonely. Okay. Okay. 40 people now. So we have 14. 14 okay. Okay, 10. Can we have face-to-face back? All right. Only 1 say lonely. Okay. So happy. Okay. Another 1 minute. I'll just wait for 1 minute. Okay. 11 say, 11 feel exhausted. 12 say, can we have a face-to-face back? 10 are happy. All right. 11 are exhausted. Okay. Okay. 20. All right. We have 56. Okay. Any more? Okay. So we can see here. All right. 20, we have 56. So we can see that 25 exhausted plus the one who asked to have face-to-face back. So 25, okay, 27 plus lonely, and we have 30. So it is like mostly half-half, okay? Half-half, whereby half of the attendee today said that they are okay, they are happy with online teaching, all right? And half said that they were exhausted, they are still exhausted, they are lonely, and they would like to have face-to-face teaching. Okay, so we can see that some of you are happy, some you are okay, and some of you really need to have face-to-face. Okay, although we don't know whether are we able to have face-to-face back next semester. So we might probably will be having online for another semester. So we should be prepared for that. All right. Okay. Another question. Next question. Okay. 3 words. Describe your feeling while teaching online. Rasa happy. Are you happy? Just now some of you said you were happy. Like talking to myself. Okay. Only 1 people. Freedom. Tiring. Sunyi. Tak puas. Excited. One way. Talking to myself. Okay. And then shy. Alright. Alright seems to be like okay. Okay. And then confused. Challenging. Learn a lot. Dissatisfied. Not satisfied. Okay, similar. Wall talking. Okay, like talking to the wall, like what I'm feeling at the moment, because I can only see your word cloud. All right, but I cannot hear you talking, so it is like talking to myself, talking to the wall. All right. Okay, so now the most dominant word will be challenging, dissatisfied, lonely, excited, becoming there are still people who are excited, all right, but dominant will be lonely, freedom, challenge, not freedom, freedom is quite small, all right. Dissatisfied, challenging, okay. The most biggest word there is challenging lah, all right, lack of interaction and so on. We can see that, you know, there are a lot of obstacles in teaching online, okay. And I think that it might be because of we were not prepared to teach online. Most of us, okay, when we join the university or becoming a teacher or becoming an instructor, we were actually looking at ourselves as a teacher who teach face to face. Okay, so that is in our mind. Okay, now 71 people, 72, but the word, the most dominant word here is challenging, dissatisfied, lack of interaction, excited. Some of you are excited, all right? Okay, happy, confused, tiring, one way, great. Okay, lack of interaction, health issue, learn a lot. Okay, I think I agree with health issue because while I was teaching, okay, and while I was working, am working now. Okay, I sit in front of the computer for too long, sometimes until at night, because my class also were conducted after 5. Okay, so we can see that we have health issue. Okay, all right, so thank you everybody for your words here in to describe your feeling while teaching online. I can see that it is still moving. All right, so but the dominant word is dissatisfied and then challenging, lonely. Okay, but we have excited and happy lecturers here with online teaching. Okay, thank you. So I'll just go back to my slides. Okay. Why is it coming blank? All right. Okay, so transitioning to online class. Okay, although we have been teaching for 3 semesters online, but we still need to give time to ourselves to transition to online class. Okay, we are not experts in online teaching, so we are learning to teach online. Okay, so whatever you have done face to face, okay, whatever you have done face to face is not similar to what happened online. Okay, it is much more different. It is much more different environment. We are facing with uninteractive students. Okay, sometimes they keep quiet behind their computers with a lot of excuses. All right, sometimes we call their names, and when we call Azida, where are you? Can you answer my question? Then suddenly, Azida is nowhere in the class, although her name appear in the participant list. All right. So I think that is the most, that is one of the problem that we as lecturers encounter during our online class. So to transition to online class, we first need to rethink and reconfigure the materials that we use for teaching. Okay, we need to rethink, reconfigure, reconsider our lectures. Okay, most of us are lecturers, okay, or are teachers, and because of our title as teachers, as lecturer, so we tend to give lectures. Okay, we like to give lecture, we like to speak. Saya tak pernah jumpa lah pensyarah yang tak suka bercakap. Alright, so most of us like to speak, like to deliver content to our students. However, for online class, we need to rethink and reconsider. Okay, and then we need to look at our activities, the activities that we provide to our students, and how we do the assessment. Okay, because whatever we have done face to face might not work. Okay, in online class you need to be able to tweak a little bit, right? Tweak to what you have done in face-to-face class, or just replace it. Okay, you might not need it in online environment. Okay, because the nature of online environment is giving much more flexibility to our students and to our teaching. Okay, so online courses actually tends to be shorter. All right, now we have 14 weeks. Okay, 14 weeks kan. Every semester we have 14 weeks. So actually we don't need to have every week synchronous class in the online environment. Okay, I am a MQA auditor for ODL, Open Distance Learning. All right, so in open distance learning, actually, okay, what is required to a course to have for online learning is only 5 times synchronous class, meaning that according to your timetable now, you have 14 weeks of synchronous class, right? Every week you are going to meet with your students at the time allocate to your course. So you are going to meet every week with your student. Okay, however, in online learning environment, it is not required for us to do every week online synchronous class. Okay, at least you have 5 synchronous class should be okay. Okay, should be okay already, because you are going to replace all the synchronous class with asynchronous activity. All right, so it will actually impact the course overall structure, because before this, when we do the face-to-face class, we attend our class regularly in the Dewan Kuliah, in the tutorial room, and so on. All right, but for online distance learning, you can change the mode into asynchronous class. Okay, that's why I'm doing this webinar today, because to prepare yourself for next semester, October, so that you can prepare your asynchronous class for next semesters, and you can plan that you won't be having synchronous class as much as you did last semester. Okay, and then the participants requirement will be entirely different. Okay, so you don't take attendance anymore, because you know you can actually actually upload your asynchronous activity beforehand, and you can give your students 1 week for them to view, to do the activity, and so on. And then after they have done the activities, they have viewed the videos, for example, then they can tick in e-learn that they have done that, or you can actually set the e-learn when they have review and do the activities, automatically the e-learn will tick their participation in the activity that you have designed in your e-learn. Okay, so for those who are attending from other university, it is your e-learning platform. Okay, e-learning platform such in you have Spectrum and so on. Okay, so in online class, we don't actually require students to take attendance. So for MQA purposes, if let's say you would like to count the student participation, it should be actually automatically set in your e-learn. So you don't have to take attendance for your class, for asynchronous class. Okay, and then even materials, okay, that exist in face-to-face, for example, or in you have done online learning before, so it will actually end up looking different. Okay, for example, if let's say in your face-to-face class, you have actually done lecture, okay, you did lecture for 1 hour. So in online class, you might not have to do the online 1 hour online video, you might change it into 10 minutes video only, because alright, because in online lecture it works better for 10 to 20 minutes video only. And you must remember, during our lecture in face to face, we might have, you know, when you give lecture, you ask students question, you have interaction between you and your students. Okay, and some student might ask question during your lecture. So that's why when we are preparing the video segments, okay, it is enough 10 to 20 minutes, because there will be no interruption from the students while we are delivering or preparing the video. Okay. Right. So why should, sorry. So why should you know on how to transition to online class? Okay, why? Because most of us are now doing 100% online class. There are some courses who required face-to-face, but mostly we are now doing our online classes. Okay, so that's why it is important for us to actually know how to do the transition from face-to-face to online class. So firstly, I would like to introduce you to ODL. Okay. Why I'm sharing this, because I think that we have been talking in the ministry, Ministry of Higher Education, actually, because we are looking at, now we have been last time we thought that we are just going to do online learning for 1 or 2 semesters only, but now it's going to be 4 semesters, and our lecturers are not prepared to be doing online. They are hoping that they will be able to do face-to-face, like some of you just now mentioning about you want to be able to do face-to-face classes, which is, I also think that, you know, I like to meet my students face-to-face. However, as we are not going to do that very soon, so I think that it is important that you know that what is the principles of ODL. So in ODL, the system is about teachers and learners need not to be necessarily be present either at the same time or same place. Okay, so it is flexible and regard to modalities and timing of teaching and learning. You have your syllabus. Okay, you need to rethink of your syllabus so that you can actually make it much more flexible to you and to your student. Okay, I can see there is a question. How can we know that student actually master the topic? All right, question, I think it is from YouTube. Okay, all right. So how can we know that a student actually mastered topic? I will cover that later. Yeah, later I'll show you what to do. Okay, and then Dr. Robaiza mentioned about true problems for online teaching are stable internet line. Okay, and then laboratory and practical. Yes, I do agree with that. Okay, because I think that, you know, we have done we have done a survey to our students before this, and we are going to do another survey this coming within 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, the previous survey, students were complaining about they were not having reliable internet connection. Okay, they are not able to they have problems to actually attend the synchronous class, because sometimes they are in, sometimes they are out. Okay, and then they don't have money to buy data. Okay, and even they have data, maybe their place are in the rural area, so they are not being able to they have limited internet access. Yes, I do agree with that, Dr. Robaiza, meaning that, you know, it is actually a problem to our student. Okay, so that's why last semester in USM, yeah, after we had done that particular survey, we actually brought back the students with limited or problematic internet back to USM. Okay, that's why we have students in USM last semester whereby they need to fill in a form. If they declare that their internet is not okay, they have to come back and stay in USM although we are still learning online. Okay, so and then I do agree with laboratory and practical. Okay, it is very hard for us to do online learning for laboratories and practical. Okay, so yeah, but I think that some schools are trying to do virtual lab and so on. However, it is still in trial. Okay, and we have to test it and so on. So yes, I do agree that there are some obstacles to actually do the online learning. All right. And then another question, Nizam, effective duration for instructional video is 10 to 20 minutes. So if the topic cannot be covered in one video, so need to separate the video. Okay. When we are talking about video 10 to 20 minutes, okay, we are looking also at the student how they access the video, okay, how they can concentrate watching the video, all right. So you actually need to segment all the video into different objective or different topic learning outcomes, meaning that yes, you do have actually, it is recommended for you to actually produce simple video. For me, actually, I tried to limit my video to 10 minutes, okay, because 20 minutes already too long for students. They cannot concentrate, okay, so I tried to limit 10 minutes for a video. So try to put one learning objective, not course learning objective, topic learning objective or micro learning objective into 10 minutes video to 10 to 20 minutes video. Right? It is recommended because it is hard for students to concentrate to watch. If you are watching a Korean movie ke whatever, 2 jam pun tak apa, 3 jam pun tak apa, but for educational video, it is not recommended to go beyond that. Can we use video developed by students from previous semester after we have vetted the content? Yes, you can. All right, yes, you can, because the video it is from the assignment, right? Okay, so if let's say you, because I actually will, I always use my students' content, okay, because it is also ours, because it is the copyright is your university's punya jugalah, okay, it is not the students, because it is based on our assignment, so you can use, because you know, it is hard for us to actually develop the content by ourselves for each of the topics, so you can actually use, all right, the previous students video, but make sure that you are sharing it with your own student, not beyond your apa kata educational practices lah, okay. So then and from Nizamuddin's question just now, okay, 10 to 20 minutes. That's why suddenly I saw Dr. Sharul question. You can also, okay, we don't need to produce the 10 to 20 minutes video, but we can actually ask our student to produce the video for us, okay. We are looking at student-centered. So for a topic that you think that your student will be able to produce video, why not? Okay, you ask them to produce the video, and like Dr. Sharo mentioned just now, you can vet, okay? And then I always like to put my content in Padlet or in eLearn, all right, so that, but in eLearn, the problem is I always embed Padlet in my eLearn so that everybody can see their friends video, okay, or whatever their friends doing, okay, assignment, for example, my maps, okay, their podcast and so on. Later on, I'll show you the podcast that my students did, all right. So yes, we can actually, that's why I said earlier, we are going to do the transition. Usually in our face-to-face, we give the content to the students, we deliver by lecture. Now they are going to do the work for us. Okay, I think it is very important for us to empower our students in ODL environment. Okay, Dr. Razif, for a 2 or 3 unit course, how much duration in total of online teaching according to MQA requirement? Okay, so let's say you are doing a 3 credit hour course, right? Three credit, 120 SLT. Okay, so it is okay to have teaching, online teaching, duration in total. So usually we are using 5 times. Okay, you can have 5 times 2 hour synchronous class, okay, according to MQA, meaning that let's say in the timetable, you can actually from the 14 weeks, you can actually do the online synchronous class minimum 5 times. Okay, minimum 5 times according to the timetables, and the balance of the timetable can be conducted using asynchronous, meaning that you are going to fulfill the SLT according to the requirement lah. Okay, for example, in your table 4, okay, I'm going inside the MQA. In table 4, you already mentioned that this topic will be how many SLT. So in your asynchronous component, you need to put the similar SLT for that particular content. Okay. Some students don't like video, they don't watch, feel like not appreciated. Okay, I'll cover that later, but you don't necessarily provide video to your student. Maybe you are not expert in doing, not only you. I also, I don't like to watch my video. Macam teruk je muka saya bila saya buat video, kan? So, and sometimes I feel like, suara saya macam tu ke buat video, ulang-ulang buat. So, I really don't like my own video. Okay, sometimes when I did my video, I tend to not to watch my video because I don't like it. All right, so, but we can give, actually, like I mentioned earlier, we can empower the student. Okay, we can empower the student to do the video. Later on, I'll share. I will share what my student did, so that you will know that there are many things that you can do in online learning environment, and not only you are the content provider. Okay, and then we can also do synchronous for the whole 7 weeks also. Yes, like I mentioned just now, Dr. Shrina, the minimum is 5 times, but you can do more lah. Okay, why I am suggesting less synchronous interaction, because it will actually burden you. Okay, because burden you, but I don't think you care about that. You like to meet your students. I think it is okay. But for our students, for example, if they have 3 classes in a day, okay, 3 courses in the day, they have 9 to 12, and then 2 to 4, and then they have another course at night, so they will be attending synchronous class like 3 times a day. And sometimes, because they are now at home, okay, not all of our students are in the campus, so we must think that, if we do the synchronous class, okay, there might be other lecturers are doing the same thing as well. So then what happened to our students? Okay, mak-mak akan marah di rumah. Okay, anak tak keluar dari bilik. Okay, they are staying in the room because they are, they keep on saying they have class. Okay, they have class. Okay, after one class to the other. So we need to consider our students' burden too. Okay, and then I remember my students, okay, when I say, okay, next week we are going to have asynchronous class, okay, and these are the tasks that you need to do for next week, okay. Tak ada siapa yang complain. They are not complaining, although sometimes I don't provide video, but I give task, okay? You need to do this, and then after that you need to do this within this 1 week. So then, but we don't have synchronous class. They were relieved because they don't have to attend the synchronous class, maybe because of the data satu, maybe because of they have many classes that synchronous. Okay, I said you can use the time allocated 2 hours of our class, for example, to do what I asked you to do. Okay, for this week. So I think, you know, my students last semester was actually more than 100 people for undergrad class, and they were relieved when I said, okay, no class for next week, and we have asynchronous, do this task. Okay, no one complain about the task. Okay, no one complain because they think that okay, saya boleh buat bila-bila as long as it is within 1 week. Okay, uh, I give I allocate time for that lah. Okay, within 1 week. Okay, when is the due date and so on. You must be clear. Tell your students what you know, what are your expectation lah. Okay, so ODL is providing much more flexibility to you and your students. Jadi kita pun we have time. Okay, we have prepared the task to our student, then they will be able to do their work, and while they are doing their work, we can also do our own work. Okay, much more flexible. All right. I have mentioned just now, open distance learning is a way of learning remotely without being in regular face-to-face. Okay, I have highlighted that just now. Okay, and then contact with instructor and our student lah, kita dan our students. So as Dr. Ashrina, we can count their submissions as attendance, right? Yes. Okay, that is their attendance or participation. So if let's say one of your student did not submit within 1 week that you allocated for them, then you can, you know, because you when they submitted, we can see who submit or who did not submit. So you will be able to actually look for the students who did not participate in the class activity. All right. Okay. Learning delivery can be completely online. Okay. Sorry. All right. So online courses offer students the flexibility. Okay, we must remember lah, most of them are now at home. So sometimes mak suruh masak nasi pun tak sempat. Okay, because anak busy. So we try to give them flexibility, okay, over the internet. So the students who are not going back to the campus, so they might have apa orang kata enough internet lah, okay, proper internet at their home, tapi mungkin juga they prefer to stay at home. So we must provide flexibility to our students. Okay, all right. Why ODL? Flexible schedule. Okay, like I mentioned just now, we are giving flexibility to the student as well as to us. Okay, learn at own pace, meaning that for example, they don't have to do the task within the timetable 2 jam ke whatever, but they have 1 week. So they must be able to learn at whenever they have, they have planned their time and so on. So they can learn at their own pace. And then we can provide multiple ways to communicate. Okay, we can communicate with our student in multiple ways. And then if we provide video, then students can review the course materials repeatedly. Okay, compared to, okay, let's say we usually when we have WebEx session, we have WebEx session or we have Zoom session. What happened was, okay, our class 2 hours, and then we record the 2 hours interaction or our lecture for 2 hours. And then the students say, okay, doctor, after this, can you share the link to our to the WebEx, our class just now? 2 jam ya. So kita pun look for the after the recorded video ada dah siap, then what would happen, we share the video to our students. Okay, kita pun malas kan kalau nak edit the video. If let's say we would like to edit the videos, it will take time lah. So we just give the link for the 2-hour session, okay, and then the student view. Okay, do you think it is good for us to give the 2-hour video to our student? Okay, if let's say they are looking for certain points, they have to like, okay, fast forward or review back, because it is a 2 hours video without any editing. Okay, so if let's say we provide 10 minutes video, then it is easier for them to review all the materials that you give to them. Okay, for example, objective number 1. So it is in one 10-minute video, then they know this is the title of that video, then they will be able to review the course material which they are not able to understand, or yeah, whatever they need to review, then they can review repeatedly rather than they watch our 2 hours webex session, which is, I don't think, you know, for example, if you give me 2 hours recording, sometimes I have no time to review that. Nak duduk tengok 2 jam, kalau cerita Korea, anak-anak muda ni dia naklah tengok kan. Okay, 2 hours of your material. Lepas tu dengan the line putus-putus recording, you know, sometimes it like buffering and so on. So it is not suitable for you to give actually the recorded video, 2 hours recorded class video to your student, unless you edit it into segments. All right. And then it also develops self-discipline to your student, because our students, they have normally learned via face-to-face. Okay, they are not well equipped for online learning. So I think that, you know, by now they should have actually developed self-discipline. But from our survey in USM, we found that students actually agree that they don't have self-discipline, they wait until last minute and so on. Okay, Dr. Aisyah mentioned, I'm not prefer to record my lecture to students because I feel the students will use this as excuse not to attend the class at the particular time. Okay, what do you think? Okay, Dr. Aisyah, why do you think you need them to be able to attend the class at particular time? Why do you think that you need them to actually attend every class that you conduct? Can you answer that? You can unmute, yeah?
It's because I'm a teacher. Maybe it's different method from a lecturer. Yes.
Yes. Oh, you are a teacher. All
I'm
right.
teaching language.
You are from Solat ke?
Yes.
All right. So I think although you are a teacher, because first when you said you are a teacher, I thought alamak, cikgu sekolah ke? Okay. But it is in Solat. I think, you know, why not actually? I think that it is not excuse because you are a teacher. Okay, I think it is much better. For example, you are teaching English, for example lah kan, or whatever language that you are teaching in Solat. So you might not record for your students actually, or if you record for your students, you might record the basic things that you would like to deliver to the students, and then the students need to record back and give it to you. All right. I think it is much better for them to actually record what they are doing, because if let's say you are doing synchronous class and you would like your students to give feedback, only the active student will give feedback to you. Sometimes when you call their name, they will not be able to answer you because sometimes, you know, maybe they don't answer. Like I think they just give, some of the student, they will just give excuse because my internet is not good, terputus-putus, terkeluar and so on. Okay. So I think like Dr. B agree with Dr. Aisyah, but I think you need to try give some time, you know, give a chance for the students to be empowered in your class, online class. Okay, because I think you might not need to take attendance, okay, but you count their participation. It is much more important that the participants participate in your online teaching and learning rather than attending your synchronous class but not participating. They attend. You can see their name. Like today, I can see, you all in the participation list, but I don't know whether they are you listen to me. Okay, sometimes lecturers macam tu juga ya, lecturer when we do the webinar they attend but then they go somewhere else and then do something else. Okay, sometimes you have two devices. Itu kesalahan saya jugalah. Sometimes I have another meeting sebelah sini kan, and then I am attending without listening sebab CPD tak cukup ke whatever lah kan. But this happened to our students too. All right. Okay, this happened to our student too. The participation is much important. The engagement is much important than the attendance. Okay. All right. So how to be an ODL instructor? Okay. So we can see that we are not preparing ourselves to be an ODL instructor before this. Tapi dah terpaksa because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, we need to be an ODL, an online learning instructor, which is something yang kita sebenarnya tak terimagine lah. However, I've been doing this since before pandemic. If you ask my students, I prefer to do. I do blended learning before pandemic lah, because I've been using Zoom before pandemic and so on. I've done my class from airports because I've traveled to, within 1 week I travel like 3 times a week and I can't cancel my class. So I did online classes from airports and so on. Okay, but that did not prepare me to have online classes for the whole semester. Okay, so I'm struggling to actually. All right. Okay, so however we can be an effective or efficient online instructor, ODL instructor, if we plan our delivery. Okay. We need to plan our delivery. That's why I'm doing this in the middle of August, because you can prepare. You have another 1.5 months to prepare, to plan how are you going to deliver your class next semester. Okay, so let's say we start early October. All right, early October, we have 14 weeks. So plan which topic. Okay, first look at your topic. What topic that you have? Okay, so which topic will be easier to be conducted asynchronously? Okay, which topic that is needed to be done synchronously? Wajib buat synchronous. Okay, you must plan and decide. All right, you must plan and decide. So plan from now. Look at your syllabus, what you are going to teach, and then see. Okay, topic 1. Topic 1, maybe I need to do synchronous because this is my first class. I need to know my students. Okay, so first week I will do synchronous. Okay, second week. Okay, so you look at the topic and decide and plan. How am I going to deliver this? Second week might be video. Okay, third week I would like to do, I don't like to do video as much because I don't like to record myself. So why not the third week I'm going to do activity. Students need to do mind maps. For example, I'm going to give them a text, okay, PDF text, put it in the e-learning platform, and then they need to read from there, and then they will produce a mind maps or infographic from there, and then put it in the Padlet. Okay, and then next week, okay, there will be synchronous class whereby they are going to present what they have produced the week before. Okay, something like that. All right, so you need to plan in advance. Okay, and then use a wide variety of technology. Okay, but I know that some of us we are not well versed, maksudnya tak suka banyak-banyak sangat teknologi, we don't like to use so many technology, akan pening. Okay, so just select various technology that you are comfortable with. You don't need, when you see that, you know, people posting about, they post in social media, okay, I'm using this, okay, this is the latest technology, this is what you need to use. No, just choose technology that you are comfortable with, and or you need to know that, okay, that technology exists and can be used for what. That's it. Okay, sometimes ada yang dah tua-tua macam saya ni, macam alah, using technology, learning new technology will take time and so on. So you just need what is the to know what is the purpose of that technology. Then you ask your student to do it for you. Give them assignment, give them tasks to use that technology. Okay, so that they will do that for you, not you doing that for them. All right. Okay. So let me see. I like Dr. Mazlan said trust should be part of ODL. Yes, we should trust our student. Okay, we should trust our students so that, you know, I think that later on I'm going to just share with you all how to establish the trust. Maybe how do you actually put some expectation to your student. Later on I'll share. Okay, and then Dr. Normalina mentioned about I prefer to record my lecture. Usually I prefer to improve myself as well. Yes. Okay. When we record the video, we are actually know, you know, what we know and what we don't know. Okay, we know which part we are not well versed, because when we go through the topic, sometimes we alamak, lupa lah ini apa fakta dia, whatever lah. So it helps you actually to be well versed in the topic that you are lecturing. Okay, and then okay, pendapatan yang halal. Alright. Okay, you are all berborak kat sini, so yeah, go on. You can berborak, no, not a problem. Okay, and then you need to apply variety of teaching and learning approaches. Okay, apply variety of teaching and learning approaches. Don't actually use only one approach. This is the problem with us as lecturer. We know only one approach. Okay, sometimes two approaches, but we don't know more than one or two. Okay, that's why our class becoming very boring, and then our student, they know, okay, masuk kelas Dr. Azida, when I attend Dr. Azida's class, this is her way of doing things. So she will actually come in and give lecture, and then we have to do work. So they already expected what you actually will be giving to them. All right. But if you apply variety of teaching approaches, teaching and learning approaches, when you start your WebEx, for example, for synchronous class, the student will not be able to actually know what you are going to do in the class. Okay, they will be like, Dr. Azida nak buat apa ni? What issue Dr. Azida will be doing in this class? They don't know. That's how you apply different teaching and learning approaches, and then it will help also for your class to not be boring. Okay, most of the from the feedback from the students, okay, USM students, we can see that they said that our lectures delivering online classes are boring. Their teaching are poor. Okay, most of the teachers, yeah, we found that, you know, students said that poor teaching leads to poor learning. So our lecturers are not actually good in teaching. All right, maybe teaching online, maybe you are well versed in face-to-face teaching, but for students in online learning, most of our lecturers are not, you know, really good in online teaching. That is from our survey. Okay, bukan saya cakap ya. It is from the student. Okay, so then online classes require you to spend your time differently and also use different skill sets to teach content. Okay, lain dah. Alright, you can spend your time will be different. Okay, like I said earlier, okay, you are not going to have synchronous class every week. Dah lain dah tu. Alright, or maybe different skill set to teach your content. Alright, so meaning that if let's say you are using video, okay, katalah, let's say you have one topic, you say macam mana, how am I going to make this topic? Okay, usually I give 2 hours of lecture for this topic. Now I am going to give only 10 to 20 minutes lecture. Susah tu, it is very hard for me. Okay, so what is the skill set that I need when I would like to deliver 10 minutes video that is equally similar to 2 hours lecture? Okay, it will be very hard. But we have the guidelines. 10-minute video equal to, who knows? How many hour SLT? Siapa tahu? 10 minutes video equal to how many hours of student SLT? Yes, 1 hour. Bagus. Most of you know that 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour of student SLT. So you need 20 minutes video for 2 hours SLT. Okay. So what am I going to do? What's a different skill set that I need to have? Okay. You need to actually change your mindset. Okay. So let's say you provide 10-minute video and you think that you cannot cover all the topics, then you need to ask your student, okay, to look for or give questions or activity that will cover the topic for your student. Okay, they are going to do the work, not you. You only provide them with the main concept that you would like to deliver for that particular class. Okay, whatever other things that you would like to cover is for the students to do in the classroom or at home. Okay, so the different skill set should include empower your students to be self-directed learning. You can give them more readings. For example, okay, I give you 10-minute video, you watch the video, then I have some more readings. You need to read this. From the readings, I would like you to discuss about this topic. Okay, or you would like them to do some exercise. Okay, so in 2 hour class, you need to do constructive alignment from the content, activity, and assessment. And all of that content, they will watch without you. Okay, for example, is asynchronous. The activity, they will do without you telling them what to do. And the assessment will be self-assessment. Okay, in ODL, we are looking at self-directed learner, whereby they will be self-directed in doing all the tasks. Okay, self-directed. So you have not to worry. You don't worry about, okay, diorang ni belajar ke tidak, they learning from my content and so on. You just provide them with means of communication. Okay, if they need to ask question, if they are not clear about something, okay, you need to provide that means of communication. Okay, then you need to plan class session thoughtfully. Okay, if let's say you have the synchronous class, okay, what you are going to do, okay, you need to select and plan learning objective that can be delivered asynchronously. Okay, jadi maksudnya this means that when you plan your class, you need to plan. Okay, this topic can be delivered asynchronously, for example. So you can provide either video. Kalau if let's say you are not, you don't think you can provide good videos, okay, then you can ask them to do discussion, you can give them PDF, you can give whatever, but but you must make sure that they are active in their own learning. Okay, so but I think that don't worry about producing your video, because I think that for me myself, I'm also not very keen to do my video, but I just do it. Okay, I just do it. Tak suka tengok muka sendiri. Sekejap-sekejap nampak macam muda jelita, sekejap-sekejap nampak macam mak tiri, kejap-kejap nampak macam nenek kebayan. So it is like saya tak suka. I don't like producing my video, but I think that it is yeah, betul. Sometimes you already record your video, and then sometimes Allah, delete, I don't want to use it, and it actually wasted our time. Okay, so but sometimes I need to actually try to be more confident. Okay, I said, okay, Allah, this is how my students look at me while I'm in synchronous class. Macam nenek kebayan ke whatever, that's how they view me. So don't worry, the video is going to be watched by my own student. Alright. Okay, kalau dia rasa macam dia naik kebayan, nanti dalam penilaian akhir semester dia cakap lah, tapi biasanya tak adalah orang cakap begitu kan. So it is our self-conscious sebenarnya. Alright, so yeah, so please try be more positive about yourself. Just use your handphone, try to produce video. Okay, a simple video, 5 minutes video. Okay, no worries about your appearance and so on. It should be okay. Okay, convince yourself, I can do this, I can do this. Okay, 5 minutes video only. Okay, tapi kalau you buat video lain-lain, you record video for another thing, you ask your children ke to ambil video while you are eating ke, boleh pula kan dekat kedai-kedai dulu-dulu lah before COVID. Boleh, tapi sekarang ni macam bila dengan students mungkin terasa lain, but you can still try. But yes, you don't only produce video lah. Okay, you mind yourself that video is not the only way to deliver your content asynchronously. There are various ways that you can do to actually make your staff, your student active. Okay, and then plan your activities. Okay, so that you don't burden yourself. Okay, I think that my concern is in online and learning environment. Last semesters we are burdening ourselves, okay, as lecturers, and we also burden our students in online learning. Dahlah kelas, the class that you have done every week, synchronous, the assignment, you have your synchronous class plus some other assignments, so that you think that they need some peneguhan, okay, for your class. So you give them some more continuous assessment, whatever, beyond the usual, the plan that you have in your table 4 BPK. So that's why the students think that learning online is much more burden for them compared to face-to-face. Kalau face-to-face, usually what you did, you go to class and then you do discussion with your students face-to-face. After class, that's it. Okay, they might not have other things to do, all right, rather than the assignment that they have to do according to the plan, the semester's plan. All right, so yes, please don't burden yourself and your students. Be much more flexible in online learning. Okay, the 10 minutes video, does it refer to live synchronous or pre-recorded video? The 10 minutes video refer to the pre-recorded video, yeah? Pre-recorded video, not the live. The live, if you are doing the synchronous class, it will be according to the timetable. If your timetable is 2 hours, then you need to follow the 2 hours lah. But the 10 minutes video is for pre-recorded video, because which is a 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour of SLT, because we consider when the students watch the video, they might rewind it, they might go and look for another resources and so on, and that will lead to 1 hour of SLT. Okay, they are doing more than just watch the video. They might take notes and so on. Alright. Boleh je Dr. Mizan? Boleh je nak panggil nenek kebayan ke apa? As long as walaupun panggil nenek kebayan, I'm still very young kan? Begitu. Alright. So as you begin to plan your online class, ask yourself. Okay, when you are going to start your online class, please ask yourself, what do you want your student to be able to do with the content? Okay. Jadi when you start, before you start, okay, from now on, okay, look at your syllabus and think, what do I want my students to be able to do with the content I have provided? For example, you have recorded the video, 10 minutes video, okay, or 20 minutes video, all right? So after they have watched my video, what do they need to do? Okay, if you give them a PDF readings, so what do you want them to do? Okay, if you give them other resources, you might not have recorded video, but you have other resources. You give them a website, okay, whatever document ke whatever lah. So what do I want my students to be able to do? Katalah you give a video, 10 minutes video. Okay, then you plan. From this video, I would like my students to debate on this particular topic, for example. Okay, or let's say I give them a video, mungkin you are not giving them, you might not be giving them your own video, but you are going to give them a scenario, for example, or a film, P-Ramlee film, for example. Okay, you give them to watch apa orang kata, clip on P-Ramlee films. So you give them, okay, watch this. Then you are giving them one question. You will be giving them one question, okay, and then you ask, please, the question will be, or the instruction will be, from this video, okay, please conclude whatever lah. Okay, so you ask them to analyze the video. So it is not just about watching video and then finish. It is not like that. All right, you might want them to analyze it and then evaluate it maybe, okay, or use it to solve problem. Okay, you give them a scenario. Okay, and then, okay, this is a scenario, and then after you have read the scenario, go and watch this video. All right, and then from the video, try to solve the problems, the scenario, the problems that mentioned in that particular scenario. Okay, so it is important that you know what your students will be able to do and what are the objectives that you would like to achieve at the end of the activity, your online class, whether it is synchronous or asynchronous. Okay, so for example, let's say you have a 2-hour synchronous class, but you know, having to speak, to talk for 2 hours, macam saya hari ni kan nak bercakap 2 hours. So if it's because I think that, you know, the attendee, the participants today are lecturers, you are much more responsible, so you will listen to me, so I have no problem to talk for 2 hours. But our students, okay, if we let them just listen to us, they might be listening to something else or watch YouTube, kan? So why, you know, maybe the 2 hours of synchronous class, you just give them a scenario and then you don't record a video, you just give scenario and then you give some solution, some whatever problem ke whatever lah kan, and then you ask the student to evaluate or analyze or solve the problem. Okay, or extend it into new context. You give a set context and then, okay, ask the student to think about a new context related to what you have posted or you have what you have shared. Okay, and how about applying to the real world. Okay, empower your student to do something. Okay, what they are able to do with the content. If you are just expecting them to watch and then finish, then you are finished lah, because your student won't know anything. All right, they won't know what to do with the content or readings or whatever resources that you give to them. You might just give them a website of a government of Malaysian government, for example, and then okay, look at this website, and then okay, from this website, please evaluate and describe whatever you want, whatever related to the topic that you are teaching. Okay, then create something new. Okay, so that is the task for you. The task for to be given to our students. You just don't think about this is I have this much content and how am I going to deliver using video. Semua orang ingat when we do asynchronous class, it is video. Balik-balik video. But you can be creative and do different things that can help your students to understand the topic that you are looking at. All right. Dr. Normalina said, I usually give certain tasks, then ask them to respond, answer via Google Form or Paddle. Yes, you can do that. All right, because there are various ways to actually get your students do something. All right. So, but for me, I think that, try to give various tasks, okay, then they will be able to do different things. Okay, sometimes, kalau kita duk cakap, okay, you kena produce video, lesson dia kata asyik-asyik video je, mesti lecturer dia nak guna lepas ni kan. So, yeah, you have to be much more creative lah. Okay. So, what sort of activities you should assign in your online class? Satu, it can vary depending on your discipline. Okay, we are from different discipline. Ada engineering, ada orang law, seorang tersesat dekat sini hari ini. Okay, sorry Datuk Mizan, gurau ya. So, I mean, we are from different discipline. I can only give you some general ideas, but you are the expert in your particular area. Okay, you have different goals. Okay, what your students will be able to do at the end of your program and so on. But yeah, I just share here, you try encounter new information and idea. Okay, for example, when you watch video and reading PDF in advance, then they give a presentation, not you, yeah. We always think that all the content should be delivered by us, but now we can change, empower our students. Okay, they can actually present and so on. There are many ways. Okay, and then you can also use podcast. Okay, podcast. Saya suka guna podcast. Alright, and then engage with information and ideas. Okay, I think that some of us haven't been using WebEx breakout rooms. Okay, try to use it. Some of us like alamak susah lah nak buat, but I think some of you already done this. Okay, and then present using Google Docs. They can actually use Google Docs while the synchronous session. Okay, you don't have to give lecture. Okay, try to avoid lecture when it is not necessary for lectures, and then reflect on their learning. Okay, kalau kat sini example dia spending last 5 minutes to give them for them to give reflection, but you can also ask them to give reflection on other students' work. Okay, or use Mentimeter ke, poll everywhere ke, whatever, or just put it in Padlet. All right, remember you need actually to ask your student for feedbacks in each of the class so that you can improve. Okay, make it a habit. 5 minutes before ending your class, ask your students. Okay, can you just put give some feedback on today's class. Okay, what do you like best, what you don't like, and okay, what is the problem that you face during this particular class. Okay, Dr. Yo said, okay, I face same problem to how to use the breakout room session. Okay, tak tahu ya. Alright. Wait. I don't know whether I can share it. Sekejap ya. Okay. So in the Webex session, tak tahulah boleh tunjuk ke tidak kat sini. If you, I need to, tak boleh lah sebab I need to unshare my screen. Then okay, later on I'll do a video for that. All right, I will do a video on how to set up a breakout session in Webex, and then I'll ask CDE to post it, put it in YouTube. Then we share the link to everybody in USM via email ya. Okay, sebab if I was thinking if I can share it here, I don't think I can. More. If I do breakout session, then everybody in here will be coming breakout, will be in breakout session. So I think better I do it. Tu ada dah. So our staff have produced a link there, yeah? How to set up breakout sessions, breakout room in Webex. Okay. All right. Good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, and then okay, this 10 minutes video can be from YouTube or other sources, right? Meaning it doesn't have to make you don't have to make your own video. You can actually, for your, if you would like to use other videos from YouTube and so on, make sure you you are the expert. Okay, you are the expert. You know that the content is similar to your syllabus, and then you will be able to use it, but give credits to the owner lah. Yeah, make sure that you give credits to the owner. All right. Yes, it can be other content. However, satu perkara, one thing that I would like to highlight here is, being an ODL student. Okay, ODL student yang tak jumpa lecturer dia selalu, they seldom meet their lecturers unless you have synchronous class. They prefer to have their lecturers give do the video for them. Why? Because it gives them a sense of belonging. Oh, Dr. Azida buat video ni sendiri. This is her voice. If you, let's say you don't want to put your face in the video kan, you just want to make your a slide like this. For example, you have slide like me, you would like to turn it into a video, but you are self-conscious lah. Okay, you don't want to put your face there. So you can just your voice, okay, just do screencasting. Okay, just do screencasting and your student will be able to listen to your voice. Okay, but yes, you can actually use other videos, but it is preferable that you actually do your own video. All right. Okay, so jadi lagi. Alright, so yang ni saya ambil Prof Karim punya ya, saya curi dia punya. Alright, so online class, how to bore your students. Okay, so this is how it is recommended lah. Okay, when you do your synchronous class. Okay, so you can start, if let's say your class at 9 AM, then you can do 5 minutes activity, for example, lebih kurang. Okay, and then you can give lecture using PowerPoint ke whatever, alright, for 15 minutes only. Okay, we tend to like to speak for 1 hour ke, okay, more than an hour, but please try to make it less or around 15 minutes lecture only. Okay, that's why your students becoming boring when you do synchronous class, because sometimes we tend to speak too much. All right, and then give your students activity, all right, around 10 minutes. Okay, and then lecture another 15 minutes, stop sekejap, and then give activity, then lecture, and then give assessment. So it is around 1 hour punya kelas lah. Okay, so 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, so this is around 1 hour, but you can actually do some more. Like me, I don't like to give lecture in class. I only talk this much during a webinar or during trainings. Okay, but in my class, I tend to malas nak cakap banyak-banyak. I just give when I go inside my class, I just give them tasks, okay, or just a little bit review of what we are going to do today, for example, okay, and then maybe review what I have done before, okay, and then start with student tasks. Okay, start. Yeah, Dr. Mizan, I don't like to speak as much as what I'm doing during webinar. I really empower my students to do activities and they need to speak more than me. Okay. And then takut apa tadi tak berapa. Takut nanti kita tak ajar banyak satgi mereka komplain kita tak ajar. What do you think? What do you mean? Okay, if let's say they complain that we are not teaching them. Okay, that's why you need to establish in your first class. Later on, I'll share with you all. Yeah, you need to establish first before class what you are going to do for the whole semester. Okay, we are here not to ajar our student. We are here not to teach our student. Although the position that we held now is teacher or lecturer. Okay, lecturer maksudnya you have to lecture. The words lecturer meaning that you have to give lecture to your student, but actually we are just facilitating them. Okay, so you don't have to give so long lecture to them. Kecuali kalau nak marah, yes, I give lecture. Okay, if I would like to, I become angry, then I give lecture. But for the topics that I would like them to explore, it is much better for me to empower them to do the work, not me doing the work. Ya, betul. Ya. Do we need to take permission before using someone else's YouTube video in classroom, or will be giving credit enough? Okay, if actually the YouTube videos, okay, if they under the share button, right? If you can share it, you can embed it, they are giving permission. They give you permission to share it. Okay, so you don't have to contact, pergi cari pula siapa punya video ni. Oh, Dr. Azidah punya. So you need to email. No need for that. Okay, if they give you the permission to share, they have share buttons under the YouTube video. You will be able to share it lah. But just give credits meaning that you just just share the link so that people will know that the YouTube video come from other sources. Okay. Do you assess the student activity in the 1 hour class in your other spare time? Dr. Hafizuddin, saya ni tak ada spare time. So I actually use the time that I have with them to review whatever they are doing. Okay, unless I tell them to actually submit somewhere, then I'll watch it lah. I'll have a look at it. For example, if let's say, okay, you can do this now, but you can submit later on. Okay, maybe in 4 days time. After 4 days, I will review that so that I know which one that should be presented for next week ke macam tu lah. But usually if they are doing during the synchronous class time, I'll be observing what they are doing during the class time. Okay, because my time is limited. You know lah kan how busy I am. Okay, all right. So define teaching. All right. So define teaching. Can anybody define teaching to me? Are you teaching? Okay, we know that our students. Okay, we as a teacher, as a lecturer. Okay, we should know that our students have different learning style. Okay, different learning style. Tahu kan? Maybe myself is a visual learner. I learned a lot from visual. Okay, some of students like Dr. Mizan, for example, he like to listen. Okay, that's why masa dia belajar, for example, dia pakai headphones and so on, because he can listen to whatever Mak Tiri said in 2 hours. For example, so he is learning from there. Okay, some of the our students, they are memang dia kena baca. Alright, so they need to read. Okay, so when we define teaching, our teaching need to actually cover all the different types of learners. Okay, what we are doing now, we are teaching, okay, we are using one methods only, that is by giving them lecture, for example, okay, for giving them lecture. So let's say you are looking at mengajar, the word teaching. So teaching does not necessarily means you give lectures, okay? You can teach less, meaning that you must, some people are learning by doing. They need to do something, then they learn. Then that's why we have to have different methods of teaching so that the student will learn. Okay, if you just think that you are teaching using, sometimes memang some of our lecturers, they tend to feel guilty because they are not giving lectures. Sebenarnya you shouldn't be guilty of not giving lectures, because mungkin tak bagi lecture, because if you not give lecture, that is the best, because your students are not learning from lecture at all. They are not visual learners. That's why we must change our method and approach setiap kali, every time we go into our class. Okay. Dr. Azida, macam mana penerimaan pelajar buat macam-macam aktiviti? They like it sebenarnya, Dr. Ashikin, Dr. Nick. So, actually that's why you need to design. That's why you need to design, because you know what types of activity that is enough for 2 hours, for example, to cover that topic. Jangan bagi over activity. You need to design. That's why you need to plan. Okay, so that you don't overburden your student. Konon-konon tak nak bagi burden. Last you bagi burden pada students, alright? Okay, usually at the beginning of any class, Dr. Robaiza, I always emphasize to students that I am here to guide the student on what they should learn and know. Okay, so yes, you need to guide your student. You need to always remind that I am here not to teach, but you are going to learn. Okay, the way I approach this topic is like this for you to learn. I'm not here to teach. Dr. You said something about self-assessment earlier. How do you do that in your class? Is it part of the 10-minute activity? Yes, sometimes let's say we are doing self-assessment, kan? Self-assessment can be done asynchronously as well as synchronously. Okay, so sometimes you ask the students to do something. All right, you ask the student to do something. Then after they have finished, you give them rubric. Okay, they must evaluate themselves based on the rubric. That is one of the example. Okay, give them the rubric. Okay, see your work and use the rubric to actually think about what you have done. Okay, that is one example. Or if let's say self-assessment in asynchronous, you can just give a quiz and so on. That is much more easier. Okay, Dr. Chow, means through our timetable set for my live class, so I just around 30 minutes like this in live class, then others I record video for them to learn themselves. It is up to you, Dr. Chow. If let's say you would like to meet only 30 minutes, then you give activity or you give whatever task to them, it is okay. Okay, as long as it covers what you would like to cover in that 2 hours timetable. No worry about that. Okay? Okay, good. Alright, banyak lagi slide saya ni. Masa macam dah nak habis. Alright, so how to engage your students in online environment? First, you need to communicate. Sometimes lecturer ni kan, you are not giving the students your WhatsApp number, because nanti malam-malam buta, you know, they will contact you, ask questions. All right. So yes, but try to give them multiple formats of communication. If you are not comfortable with sharing your numbers with your student, then you can use Telegram, because Telegram you don't have numbers, guys. All right. So you can try Telegram, or you can put Padlet, you know, whatever they would like to ask question, they can ask there. Okay, or they can send chats in your e-learning platform. Okay, and then provide active learning opportunities. Like I mentioned just now, okay, 2 hours synchronous class shouldn't be only you are the one who is speaking. You are the one who only active. Then you are going to be tired. You are going to be exhausted, because you have a few class to attend. You have to design, you have to do research, you have to do papers, and so on. All right. Provide active learning opportunities, because we are not getting younger every day. We are getting older. They are younger than us. Please make them active, not us. Okay. Be active, facilitating them in learning. Okay. Make learning social. All right. Make learning social, meaning that they need to be able to learn from their peers. Okay. And yeah, so that they can discuss, they can collaborate, and so on. But we know that some of our students, they don't like doing collaborative work. Okay. Sometimes adalah some of the students will actually ask us, Dr. Azida, you know, my friend in the group, she don't do anything. She just pass, you know, she don't care about the work. I'm the only one. Datang pun nangis-nangis, and so on, kan? So, you know, try to make that learning social, try to actually let them collaborate together. Okay, and yeah, you are the expert, and you should know how to make your students learn from each other. Gamify with badges and certificates. Okay, we have Dr. Mizan here today. Okay, he is the expert in gamification. All right, you can give your students badges, certificates. You know what I did last semester? Actually, I gamify in my class, and then if they got the highest mark, they win something, whatever. All right. I actually bought chocolates from Shopee. I asked them from their address. Okay, and then they will get the chocolates from Shopee. So I don't have to do anything. I just order from Shopee, and Shopee will send them wherever. And it actually motivates them. All right, because they know that in Dr. Azidah class every week, you know, she will send something. All right. Okay, so yeah, I think that motivates you. You don't have to give them, you know, very expensive chocolate. Chocolate Langkawi dekat Shopee tu, there are a lots of cheap chocolates, you know. So Dr. Mizan, please buy from Shopee. Yeah. All right. Yes. And sometimes if they are, because we have some students who were in the in USM, kan, they went back to USM during the semester. So if let's say they say, okay, I am in Bakti, for example, then I say, okay, seorang di Bakti, seorang di desa. Okay, I said I just send to one of them. They can actually meet and you know, give the chocolates to everybody lah yang ada kat sana. So I think that, you know, it is something that the students will feel much better, because they seems to be lonely. Yang duduk rumah, they are lonely at home, and so on, kan? So why not just you all pun duduk kat rumah sekarang ni, okay? You don't have to travel to USM, you don't have to travel to work. So duit minyak pun ada lebih, so belilah coklat untuk student masing-masing, so that, you know, they are going to be happy and they will be much appreciative to you all. Okay, and then if let's say you give your student task, please remember to give timely and useful feedback. Ya, jangan dia hantar you all senyap-senyap. You are just, you know, you just duduk situ. Okay, biar je lah whatever dia hantar. Okay, just give some feedback. Okay, just the word nice pun okay dah. Wah, how nice. Okay, this is a good one. That is enough for your student. You don't have to, like, you know, kedekut sangat dengan whatever your words lah, kan. Just give some useful feedback. Okay, this is good, and so on. All right. add self-assessment opportunities, all right? And then improve cost accessibility for all. Mungkin kalau you letak, if you put your content in e-learn, some of them, you know, the data might not be that good. So you can actually put your video in WhatsApp ke, give them personal message ke, whatever. Try to cater the needs for all your students, okay? You all borak-borak je ni kan? Okay. Okay, so no question. All right, so I always use this, yeah, the community of inquiry model. Okay, if you would like to know more about COI, okay, you can just go Google. But the most important thing in COI is when you are teaching online, okay, you need to have social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. At the moment, what we are doing is we focus on our presence, the teaching presence, okay? And then we look at but the teacher presence should be what we did, we just give lecture, okay? We really worried if we don't give lecture to the student, but remember what I said earlier, okay? We have to cater different learning needs of our students. They learn differently, okay? They have a different learning style. Okay, and then we need to also cater cognitive presence and social presence where they can learn from their friends. Okay, all right. So I just go through this fast because I have around 15 minutes. Okay. Ya, Dr. Nick, apa yang dikata penting? Penting tak lecturer turn on camera masa online teaching? Penting. Alright, it is penting. I've never, okay, I tried not to off my camera during the synchronous session. Okay, unless my internet memang really bad. Unify ni kan selalu really bad sometimes. Alright, hari ni pun tiba-tiba hujan kat luar, dah macam pelik je dia punya line. So yes, please do on your webcam during online session, okay, so that you know they can see your face, you know, like you can see my face today, my different expression during teaching, during speaking, that you know that I'm serious about what I'm talking. Alright, itu rahsia Dr. Mizan. Alright, rahsia. Okay, then when you talk about teaching presence, okay, instructional design, okay, you are looking at designing, analyzing, okay, you must know where your student whereabouts. In your first class, kena tanya lah, you ada kat mana, alright. Then you can facilitate their discourse, their discussion, alright, setting up the climates and so on. Alright, and then you give direct instruction. So this is the one that we usually does. Okay, jap. How about adult student, professional prof? As all the techniques mentioned probably suitable for undergraduate students, as they are not tech savvy and they prefer on talking and discussion. Dr. Hairul, sorry lah, you send privately, but I just, yeah, it is for everybody lah. Okay, actually I teach, I not only teach undergraduates who are undergraduates who are young students lah. I think Dr. Nizam is here. Dr. Nizam was my student. Yeah, he was our EDD student dulu. Jap. Alamak. Okay, the students, the adult students, guys, however, please don't lecture, give them lecture. I think they will be bored, you know, if you give them lectures, but you need to provide them a platform for them to discuss, okay? They need to discuss, okay? You need to provide them to discuss because they like to speak, okay? So, I don't think it is Prof Zuraini, apa maksud masih online? So meaning that you don't have to give them lecture. I think that it is much more important that you don't give lecture to the adult students. Okay, they have been working. For example, PBJJ lah kan. They have been working and then you give them lecture. Okay, to concentrate in a lecture is difficult, will be difficult for them. So please do online discussion, give them discussions, all right? So provide them with active learning. From my experience teaching, because before pandemic, in my master's class, for example, they are adults, they were lecturers, they were trainers from outside USM, but they continue the masters in USM as part-timers, and their class usually after 5 p.m. So when they attended my class, they were really tired, already exhausted from their working the whole day. All right. So when I provide active teaching and learning for them, they will be much more comfortable. They think that, okay, we don't have to watch lecture. This is boring, okay? But when we empower them to do discussion, give them opportunity to learn and do activities, they were actually really good. Okay, so don't worry about not giving lectures. Okay. Okay. Podcast, great activity, boleh buat next semester ni. Yes, I'm going to show you about the podcast. Alright, masa ada lagi less than 5 minutes. Alright, okay. Use Spotify, I'm using Anchor.fm. Okay, I'm teaching my students using Anchor app. Actually, I'm not teaching them lah. I just said, okay, from this topic, you need to produce podcast. Okay, you need to produce podcast. Okay, I give them some apa orang kata guide, not guide. Okay, you can use Anchor.fm. It is the most easiest compared to other podcasts. So try Anchor first, and then if you found any other apps that you can use podcast, you can. I have no limitation on that. All right, so I use Anchor FM lah, and most of the students are doing that. All right, patutlah tanya podcast. Yes, this one I'm going to show you later. This one before I end my session later. Okay, that this is the task last semester by my students. Okay, and then cognitive present. All right, so encourage student to share. This is more important, much more important. Why I'm putting this here? Because when they put their podcast, all right, I ask the students, okay, please give comment to one of your friends' podcast. So it is not like they just post and then nobody listen to their podcast. This is the example lah. Okay, social presence, whereby Anissa put her podcast here, and then Judy, okay, recent, and then she mentioned about she can totally relate, so sad that hour. So this is what Judy's punya reflection on the content. All right, and then Esther said, wow, what a nice topic. So when you require their friends to actually give reflection for what they have been doing, barulah dia nampak okay, ada orang dengar saya buat teruk-teruk ni, ada orang dengar dan they give reflection. It gives some motivation to the students. Okay, so that is social presence, meaning that you must make their you must make their friends visible. Okay, saya tak sempat nak buat ni sebab I have less than 10 minutes lah, around 10 minutes. Alright, however, what I would like you to think after this session is, okay, how you are going to plan. What do you plan to do on the first day of your class next semester? Alright, we are still going to do ODL. Okay, so today this is the question. I haven't got time to cover this, but this is next semester. Okay, the unexpected challenges for students. Remember, we are looking at our students. Mungkin kita rasa, alamak, diorang ni student ni macam-macam lah. Alright, but something, especially for first semester student, they don't expect that they have enrolled in USM, tapi they are still at home. Alright, we know that. Alright, classes delivered online. Okay, but they thought, yalah, harap-harap lah next semester dah dapat masuk USM, but tiba-tiba kena belajar online, sama dulu PDPR dia kata kan. Alright, and they will be able to know you online sahaja, but they never see you face to face. And much, much more kita ni, we are lecturers, we don't know our students because they don't on their webcam. Sometimes only lah when we required them, okay, please on your webcam for photography, for to take photo, barulah semua, everybody will on their webcam. But if not, they are not going to on their webcam. Alright, so how do we know that our students are our students? Okay, they are feeling sad, lonely. Sometimes kalau first semester they don't know their friends and so on, kan, disconnected and so on, and they have to log in the e-learning platform 24/7 sebab ada kelas A, kelas B, kelas C, they need to attend. Alright, so this is the task of a lecturer, to prepare your students to be self-directed learners. Okay, jadi kita tak boleh anggap our students are ready. They are not ready. Although we in CDAE, we try to actually do webinars for students to prepare them to be self-directed learners, tapi some of them need to be reminded by the lecturers themselves. Barulah ada sense of belonging. Okay. Dr. B said, I usually buat 15 minit sembang santai after class on Friday. That is good. All right. Okay. So first, all right, during the first class, this is what I always do. Before pandemic, although it is face to face, I establish a routine with my students. Okay. So that my students will be able to know what's expected of them. All right. So first, I introduce. This is I said that every week I will do like this. Okay, the material, I'm going to provide the material using different ways and so on. So establish the routine. So they will expect. Okay, tak tahu this week what is Dr. Azida is going to do. Okay, and then please respond to student message. But I am also guilty of that. Sometimes, if my WhatsApp, for example, sometimes lecturer hantar pun saya tak reply sebab tak sempat. Alright, and then sometimes I read and then I just forgot to answer. But please try to respond to your student message. Alright, or you will establish that, okay, if you send message at night, I won't answer, but I will answer in the morning or during the office hour. Okay, so they should know that. All right, and then create a mini lecture or video or online meetings to introduce material and clarify common points of confusion. Katalah banyak sangat soalan, student tak faham, they don't understand what you are saying, then you might want to create a mini lecture. All right, just to cover that particular point that they confused. Okay, tak payahlah panjang-panjang, just okay. Just simple video, you just use your handphone. Okay, regarding this question, many of you have asked this particular question. Okay, so I would like to just explain to you all about this. Okay, just point to that particular problem only. Okay, and then assignment. Please create clear instruction for assignment. Jangan letak je assignment and then you expect students to be able to understand what you would like them to do. Please, okay, first you need to read this and then what to do and then what to do. At the end, you need to submit where. Okay, please give clear instruction because we actually found during not last semester, the semester before that, because of lecturers' lack of instruction, students submit their final assessment in different place, and then what happened, the student send email to CDE mentioning, can you recheck whether I believe that I already submitted by my lecturer said, but my lecturer said I did not submit. Okay, so when we check, okay, the student really submitted but at different place, okay, at different assignment, because the lecturers did not put the clear instruction where to submit that particular assignment. Okay, so but it was for final assessment. So we actually produce whatever evidence for that, and then we send it back to the PTJ lah, okay, for them to solve. Okay, we are just the orang kata orang tengah sahaja. Alright, and then please provide feedback and then preview, set the stage for next module. Okay, so this is what you need to tell your students. Alright, and then for the most important thing, your first class, guide your students on the first meeting. Okay, don't just, you don't actually the first class jangan sibuk-sibuk nak mengajar teruslah. Itu je perkataan yang mudah dicakap. Alright, the easiest way to say it, okay, don't look at the syllabus immediately during your first meeting, but terangkan kepada mereka, okay, what is synchronous class? We are going to have synchronous class. Okay, what is synchronous class? It is real time. Okay, I am expecting to take attendance during synchronous class. Okay, and then we are going to use WebEx. Okay, just let the students know what is your expectation, what is synchronous class and your expectation during synchronous class. And then asynchronous class. What is asynchronous class? What are you going to do during synchronous class? What activities that might be included during the whole semester? When are you going to do asynchronous class? So you need to tell your students about that. All right, and then this is what I gave to my student. Yeah, I said in synchronous class, please remember, okay, you need to be at least 5 minutes early. Okay, jangan, kalau nak duduk, janganlah duduk kat ruang tamu. For example, you find a suitable place for you to learn for synchronous class. Okay, remove all distraction. Okay, jangan pula ada tab for WebEx and then you have YouTube sebelah tu, and then you have open YouTube, you open Facebook, open Twitter, Insta and whatever in your. Avoid all distraction. Remind your student, all right, about this, all right, and then find the most suitable time for you to be focused in learning and doing the this is asynchronous, synchronous, meaning that stay engaged. Okay, take note. Okay, kalau rasa nak berborak macam what you are doing now in the chat session kan, so you are allowed to do that. I always establish that. I don't mind you to actually chat with your friends during my class. Okay, tapi janganlah lebih-lebih sampai you are not focused to what I'm saying, for example, or what to do. But please do chat with your friends. Okay, all right, and then asynchronous class. Okay, in asynchronous, let them know they can learn at their own pace. They need to manage their time and so on. So this is the slide that I actually give to my students for the first day of my class. Okay. And then I let my student know what are the important things that they need to know, whether it is synchronous. Jadi meaning that they need to know lah, my class is synchronous or asynchronous. If asynchronous, I'll give them the instruction earlier. Okay, meaning that early before the class, I'll give them what to do in asynchronous class. And then they need to communicate with me, the instructor. Okay, so they need to know how do I communicate with them. Okay, they need to know my expectation. Okay, this happened during the first day of class. And then establish a mana nombor 2? Okay, and then they need to prepare their study area for meaning that no interaction during synchronous class. Also, when they want to learn asynchronously, please make sure that there is no interruption. Yeah. And then they need to establish a routine. Okay, for example, they live with their parents. For example, remind them, okay, you can learn during, for example, you have synchronous class. Let your parents know that this is the time where you have synchronous class. And then after your synchronous class, keluarlah dari bilik tu, pergilah ke dapur, tolonglah your parents to do some housework and so on, about 1 or 2 hours, then go back to your class and do your work, so that your parents will know, okay, my daughter, my son will come out from the room at 1 p.m. and then they will go back to their room at 2:30. So that is a routine that they should establish. Remind your student. They don't know if you don't remind them. Okay, this is our task as a lecturer as well. Okay, and utilize all the resources. Okay, make sure that you remind them to utilize their resources for learning. Okay, so because our students are learning, okay, they are trying to fit in the new way of teaching and learning, so we need to guide them. Kalau you tak guide as a lecturer, if you don't guide them, then actually they will be lost. Some of them lah will be lost. Some of that, can manage will be okay, but that's why we can see that, some of the mental health for our students are getting low because they were not guided, okay, for online teaching and learning. And then you can also let your students know, okay, learning online needs them to be create a consistent distraction-free workspace, okay, ensure their home or office technology, because we have PPJJ students, right, who might be working as well. All right, so they need to actually alert of the technology, technical requirement. If let's say they will be having online exam, what they need to have, and so on. All right, so this particular the latest slide that I share with you all were the slides that I share with my students. Okay, meaning that the first day, these are my expectation. Okay, so you need to know how to be a self-directed learners. Okay, don't think that your lecturers will give you everything to you, but you need to plan, you need to manage your study. Okay, follow your timetable. You might have synchronous class, you might not, you might have asynchronous class. So please aware of that, all right? And at the beginning of the semester, make sure that you know what assignments will be given to you by your lecturers, okay? Because the first day, usually lecturer we share what they are going to do for the whole semester. But in online, you need to establish these first, okay? So to maximum impact in minimal time, I would like to highlight that delivering an effective online course is an art. Okay, we are all learning, all right? But actually, if you can establish a good asynchronous class, okay, you will not burden yourself, okay, meaning that your synchronous class will be lessened, all right? So you can use that time for synchronous class to do something else, okay? And then take your time to determine your goals, course content, and activity for next semester, okay? All right? And then you need to decide now lah how to deliver your course material and so on. And the most important thing is don't be afraid to try something new. Okay, technology tools, try to do something new, try to use something new. Okay, don't be afraid. We are all learning together. Okay, with that, thank you. Any question? Let me have a look. All right. Sama-sama Dr. Mizan dah keluar pun. Apakah cara untuk menggalakkan two-way communication semasa online kelas dan bagaimana cara terbaik untuk menggalakkan pelajar buka kamera mereka sepanjang kelas? Alright, so Dr. Azimawati, alright, we know that our students, they are some of them have limited access to internet, okay? So we might have difficulties to establish, to require them to on their webcam lah during the online learning kan? Alright, however, you can actually ask them to open their webcam for certain time. Okay, for example, if let's say you need them, you are giving lecture, for example, kan, just ask them to, okay, 10 minutes, I need you all to on your webcam. All right, then during you can require them to on their webcam for certain time. Okay, not necessarily for like 2 hours of the class time. Mungkin nanti habis data dia, kesian kat mereka kan. Alright, so they all say rosak. Okay, I think, yeah, Dr. Chow, Usually they say, oh, my camera is not working. Then ask them, okay, on your handphone, you can attend this class using your handphone. Usually handphones has camera, okay? Let them know that you are much, you know about technology much better than them, okay? So jangan tipu-tipu saya, okay, macam itulah. Web tools tu macam Google Doc, Padlet, YouTube, iPodcast lagi, begitu, betul. Whatever, Kahoot ke web 2.0 is actually everything that you have learned in CDA e-learn. Okay, kita dah introduce macam-macam kan. Thank you everyone, because I think that that's it for siapa-siapa yang tak. Okay, this is last semester. My students work in Padlet. You can see that, kalau saya suruh mereka buat whatever, memang cepat je mereka buat dan tak ada complain dia. I have never kelas ni ada ramai. Okay, so you tengoklah banyak yang keluar kat sini. So my student never complain about this. Alright. Oh, for two-way communication, sorry, tinggal pula. Two-way communication, actually you can use Padlet, okay, two-way communication, okay. You can also ask them to discuss, okay, during your time, or do breakout session, okay. There are many ways to do two-way communication with your students, okay. So let me just click one. So two-way communication does not necessarily you do it synchronously, Dr. Azima. Okay. So using podcast like this also can be a two-way communication. It doesn't happen synchronously. Tips penjagaan kulit muka for
Assalamualaikum dan selamat kembali ke dalam segmen 5 minit cantik bersama Awatif. Jadi semua mesti tertanya-tanya topik apa yang kita akan bahaskan pada hari ini. Topik kita pada hari ini adalah mengenai penjagaan kulit muka. Penjagaan kulit muka ni merupakan salah satu elemen yang penting kepada
So this is from a student. Alright, kalau nak tengok what my student do, I share Padlet in the chat box kalau lah kot nak tengok kan. If you like to have a look, tak ada masalah pun. To get some idea on what students can do for their, saya punya Padlet ni ada beratus-ratus. So I subscribe to Padlet yang dalam, where is it? More about my what I while I'm sharing this, you can see, you can really fill in the feedback form ya, dekat link been shared in the chat box. Alright, this is and then from the website they have to do my map copyright for educators. So you can see that this is the one lah. Jadi I will know that feedback form ada dekat dalam ni ya, Dr. Hafizuddin. You go login into the CPD, you browse dekat bawah, at the bottom of the CPD ada click link to survey form. Isi dekat situ. Alright, must login CPD dulu. Alright, so if I use this particular setup, I'll know who will be the last. So yang last kali berada di hujung belah kanan ni lah. So Nushuhada Mustafa orang yang last kali hantar this particular assignment. Okay, so they can see what other people's do. Okay, and then these are the copyright that mind maps that being produced from a website. Okay, so it is easier for me to review lah what they are doing. Okay, this is an awareness class whereby I just give tasks to them, I give readings, and then I choose a few to present next week, the week after that. Have a look. So be creative with your teaching lah. That is the most important thing, and let the student do the work. Nak bagi lecture lah. Okay. With that, I would like to thank everybody for attending this webinar. So hope to see you all in other CDA's webinar. Thank you. Okay, kira dah stop lah ni. Okay, thank you everybody. You can fill in the feedback form and hope to see you soon. InsyaAllah. Bye.
Okey, baik. Terima kasih Pak Razida.
Terima kasih Dr. Zida.
Sama-sama.
Ya.
Doktor.
Sama.